I had a fellow Addisonian reach out and ask me if I would make a video sharing an updated version of my Addison's Disease Essentials or Spoonie Toolkit that I've shared before, to give some updates on what I've added or what I've let go of or what I'm currently utilizing. So that's what I'm sharing today. I am so grateful for your patience in getting back to everybody and my MIA status lately, but I've recently received a new diagnosis, which I'll divulge in a separate video at another time. But so it's taking me a while to kind of get on top of pain management and doctors and a lot of things in addition to pandemic. But we're here today to talk about, I'm branching it out to more of a Spoonie toolkit because now, while I have Addison's disease as one of my primary issues, there's also some other components and chronic conditions at play that still underliningly make me a Spoonie. So I'm going to share some Spoonie things that I have found to support myself and that I use on a daily basis. So some of these might be a repeat from my other video, which is called Addison's Disease Essentials, but some of this stuff is going to be, I've probably talked about some of these things in other videos as well, but I'm just going to share them all in one condensed fashion. So first and foremost, one of the hardest things I have experienced as a Spoonie personally over the years is getting adequate sleep. That has been incredibly challenging. So I keep trying to add tools to help my sleep be more substantial and more consistent. So I have a few sleep tools that I use regularly and can honestly say that I'm finally sleeping well after a very long time. But one of those main things that I did is I cut coffee, which was a big deal. But I finally cut coffee, which I think is allowing me to sleep a little bit better in addition to these tools. So one of the first simplest things is I sleep with an eye mask, and this is just a silly eye mask that I crocheted because sensory overstimulation is really a lot for Spoonies sometimes, and having something that's physically covering your eyes can really help you ground and go within and quiet your mind and body and find sleep. So even that if you're not sleeping, you're still kind of just resting and being and breathing. Another alternative, which I use also in meditation or relaxation, is an eye pillow, which this is one that I made. Just has some flaxseed in it, lavender, and I can rest that on my eyes to help find some grounding and stillness and quiet. But one of the main things I use at night is a sound machine. I play this on full blast right by my side of the bed so that way I can block out all other noises and try to keep myself asleep as long as possible. In addition to that, and I've talked about crystals many times. I'm a huge crystal person. I like crystals because they're grounding, they're tangible. I appreciate them for their healing aspects. But in general, they're just really beautiful and they're really connecting you to the earth when you need something to like cling to or hold to. But there's a few stones that support with sleep, amethyst being one of those. So I keep those under my pillow while I rest. But my favorite tool that I've just recently added and I'm so excited about is a weighted blanket, which is it can be a big expense. You can make them if you have the ability. I honestly really wanted one, and just so happened that day I looked on our Nextdoor app, which is a neighborhood sharing app. Someone was selling a brand new one for only $15. So I really lucked out. It is a weighted blanket filled with weights. It's 15 pounds. The pressure it's not so much that it's too much pressure. It's enough to keep me stable and in place. And I find that since I've started using it, even in I've only had it for about a week, but since I've been using it, I don't wake up and toss and turn anymore. I sleep pretty consistently from like 10 until 6 a.m. now, which is pretty incredible. So these sleep support is essential with any chronic illness. We need as much rest and sleep as possible. And those tools can be helpful even if you're already sleeping well. These can just be added bonuses. Pain support. I am a big fan of the heating pack. I have every kind of heating pack that there is. The electric, the water bottle, the microwavable. Sometimes I use 3 at a time. Never underestimate the power of a heating pack. That also comes with the cold packs. I love the cold packs as well for reducing swelling, or if there's particular aches and pains. I have a clay cold pack that I'm keeping cold right now because I want to use it a little bit later, but it molds to the shape of your body, and mine actually has a Velcro that can wrap around the body, so I can strap it, wear it, wrap it, or lay on it. So hot and cold therapy is really essential. In addition to that, hot Epsom salt baths to draw out things in the body, to calm the body, and also to hydrate the body, because we know we've got some hydration issues. So speaking of that, I have resorted to carrying around my growler. Even though I am only in a 1-bedroom apartment, I still have to remind myself to hydrate and hydrate and hydrate. So I've been filling this up every day and making sure that I get at least 1 to 2 full growlers a day. And I look on it and I remind myself, oh, I need a bit more hydration. So having something that you can drink out of that either reminds you to drink from or that you love to drink from, to encourage you to drink more water, because you can never have enough water, especially Addisonians. And if you are an Addisonian, pink salt is my favorite thing to add to my water. I am surprised how many Addisonians don't know about this trick. We have a hard time retaining water, and salt helps bind what we need in order to keep the water hydrating it in our body so that we don't dehydrate. So I have a fun little grinder because I get some raw Himalayan pink salt that I can pop open, carry it with me wherever I go, tuck it in my bag if it just so happens that I'm going outside. Then I can dump it in my water or take a little lick if I need it, just to get that little extra boost that we may need. I have some essential oils. I've shared these before. They are tried and true, and I love them dearly. I am a big fan of doTERRA. That's my essential oil of preference. There are 2 blends that I use. One is Digest Zen, and that is a blend to support any sort of digestion issues. I don't use carrier oils. A carrier oil would be like coconut oil, olive oil, that you would dump with a few drops of the Digest Zen to rub on the affected area. I also have On Guard, which is an immunity support, great right now, that I like to rub on my chest to breathe in all that extra immunity support oils. And then 2 specific ones that I use, Peppermint for some pain and aches. I'll actually rub it on the affected area. I tend to get really bad headaches, so I'll rub it in my hands and actually massage it into my head just to bring a bit of relief. But you have to make sure to wash your hands after, otherwise you're gonna get peppermint in your eyes. And then my favorite smell of all time still is lavender. Calming, relaxing, and actually soothing for most people. So that's a nice one to also put in my essential oil diffuser. So you can wear the oils or you can put them in a diffuser, but that's a good one to diffuse at nighttime to help invite you into a restful space. I have always been a movement-based individual, and trying to find movement that works best for your body is really, really challenging, but I've really narrowed down what works well for my system, and I think well for other Spoonies is moving under 30 minutes in a mindful, productive way that supports your system all around. So I've been doing 2 sorts of movements. I've shared before, unicorn wellness is my absolute go-to favorite 30-minute yoga, fusion, kinesiology, Pilates movement that I do on the computer whenever I want. Perfect right now as we're all home. And the second thing I do is the melt method, which is a myofascial release self-massage technique that I've just started a couple months ago, and I'm absolutely enamored in love with it. I've shared a video on it before, but the melt method comes with these little magical melt balls, and these each one have a different pressure to them that you utilize for particular areas. And I have a friend that teaches, there's plenty of melt teachers that you can reach out to, but I have a friend that teaches virtual classes right now, and I've been taking with her every Sunday, and that has been a huge game changer for my health. But I say toolbox for this because I can pull this out at any time whenever I need it and give myself a little love wherever I need that extra support in the moment. One thing that I still have, still use, still love, are my headphones. I've upgraded to different ones because honestly, I lost my others. So these ones are great when I'm overstimulated. Even sometimes I can't handle the dishes being put away if I'm low cortisol or if I'm not feeling well or if I'm in a flare. Taking away a sense can really give me some spoons back and give me an opportunity to breathe and be, whereas prior I was feeling anxiety or stress or overwhelmed. So that's been a really great tool to continue to use. And then another thing that I use all day, every day is CBD. I currently use a brand called Restart. It's a local female-owned business where I'm from. But my primary thing is just making sure that it is clean, full spectrum, organic, and just as pure as possible. No other additives, simple, just CBD. So I'm just getting that support to help with pain or anxiety to manage things. I think that's in my toolbox for now. There's so many things that I feel like prior to pandemic I was using when I go out, but now that I'm kind of like home, I have all of my staple things on hand all the time that I've shared with you. But I would love to hear what else you are using in your toolbox. What's supporting you? What's grounding you? What's an essential thing that you need that helps you thrive and survive on a daily basis? Because when we share with each other, we learn from each other, and we have the opportunity to help one another. But as always, thank you for being here. Light love, all the spoons, and I hope you have a healthy and happy, wonderful day.